day, everyone. How y'all doing? Thanks for stopping by and tuning in as always. So, this video here is very much inspirational, inspiring video. All thanks to Brother Russ Kid Can Fly, aka this brother can fly. He put out this video this past Wednesday on how he too passed his written exam for private pilot, Debrief. And so I figured I'd go ahead and do a follow-up video on that as well. I mean, me and him both passing. We're failing the first try and passing the second try. But for him, just over a year ago or 2 years ago, a year ago, early December 2020, and then in January 2021, retaking it after, I think, waiting for 30-something plus days to retake. But for me, this past year, first time end of July, and then the second time the week before Thanksgiving in November. So I just go ahead and, like I said, do a follow-up video, debrief on it as well. I will say, as far as I did speak briefly on how I did get to that in a video of me doing a refresher. So that's basically what I'm gonna get to. So we'll just start from the very beginning. I'll try to get through it as much as I can. So as I said, as far as my humble beginnings of aviation, I already did as far as my own challenge of how aviation, I created the start of the challenge with how aviation has changed my life and everything. But I was telling y'all briefly, I said I had met up with a brother who, I told y'all the story when I had went to the grand opening for Blue Lions Flight School, where they moved locations to Johnston Regional Airport from RDU. And when I went there for their event, I was sitting in the Chevy Spark. First time I drove with the blue one and not the white one. The rental time, I was saying, yeah, I met a brother, so and I thought I spotted his vehicle in the parking lot, but I didn't follow up and ask or anything like that. But either way, I said that's how I got involved to try to start training 10 years ago, a decade ago, by meeting up with him. But we lost contact maybe 3 years after, maybe 2010, 2012, somewhere around there, 2 years. But fast forward into 2020, I say, yeah, I went in consideration to, take it seriously. So go through flight training through a classroom at a community college. Then COVID hit with the lockdowns, March of 2020, and then finished the rest on Zoom, May of 2020, from January in the classroom till March in the classroom, the rest of March, and the rest of March on Zoom until May on Zoom of 2020. But anywho, then finished that, non-credit course and all, finished that. Then go to the book. That's what I'm getting at now, the book. I don't have it on me right now, but I'll probably get it later or just put on the screen or something with what you'll need. But Russ pointed out, as far as, the studying materials that you will need when you take said aviation ground school courses, you're going to need these different books throughout. That's what's going to help you through your training. But I should have said this first and foremost at the beginning of the video. It is a must. I repeat this. It is a must. I can't stress this enough. I think I said it last time or in the other video refresher, but it is a must. Apologize for the wind, but it's a beautiful day out here in Clayton, North Carolina. It is a must that you get the written exam out of the way. I'm not talking about check ride flight test. That comes after you finish your flight training lessons with your instructor. And getting all the practicing you need and preparation to get you to that point. But I'm not speaking on that because I haven't experienced that yet. If you want to know more information, again, I can put up Russ's video on that in particular on him going for his check ride. I will say it's not as far as recorded, the actual test itself, both the exam and the actual flight test, but he did as far as, giving us the before and after and how it all went, and go from there. So, but yeah, get the written exam out of the way before you do any type of lessons leading towards your check ride. Again, for both the oral and the flight test. Then that way, like as he said in his his newest video from today, that it'll get the weight off of you. And I said the same thing. Get the weight off of your shoulders once you do pass it. The reason I'm saying that is because some people can get cocky and confident that, just taking flight lessons in between and then trying to go take the written like he did, and it didn't really do him any good. I'm not saying just for him or just anybody in general, no pun intended, but everybody is different. Some people can say, oh, I can balance it to flight lessons and written exams in between. Well, that's those people, but I'm not them. But I didn't realize that the flight school I was going to originally, or was going to go through and finish up originally, told me and said, yeah, that, not saying highly recommend, they said it's FAA required. That's what I was told. Now, I guess both schools will say that and say, oh, it's FAA required that you got to take your writtens first before you go do any type of flying lessons. If I can remember it correctly, that same thing with going to CDL school, trucking school, school bus driving school, whatever have you, that you take the written first, or you take the written in between somewhere while doing practicing maneuvers out on the yard and stuff. You know what I mean? But in this case, as far as DOT regulations and FMCSA and all that stuff goes, regulations, FMCSR, but SCR something. But I was told that flight just said, oh, it's FAA required that you have to take the written first, then go for lessons and stuff, or just them saying as a school in general. But the current school that I'm at now, Cape Fear, at Grace Creek in Fayetteville, because flight test is at an RDU. 2 Golf Charlie is the airport code for Grace Creek for Fayetteville at Cape Fear Aviation. They didn't say, or me asking, is it required to take the written first, then go do lessons, or that you can balance them out in between the two, or it doesn't matter. So, but I'm saying that it's best to, me and Rex and anybody else to say, yeah, shout out to Pilot Nancy Bradshaw. She said the same thing I said in another video. It's highly suggested you go and get your written out the way. So, okay, back to the materials that you would need while doing the course that lead up to your written. Basically, all you're going to need really are 2 things. Well, the most important material you need in booklet is the test prep, because majority of those questions in that test prep, the ASA standards, it's called the ASA test prep, but it's ACS, Airman Certification Standards, is what you'll need to know that will be on that exam. The exam has a total of, I think, 49, 50, 51, 52 questions. It's around that range. I'll say up to 50, I think 49. It has that many questions. So half a majority of those questions are coming out that test prep booklet. And also, now this is the thing. Of course, you can't use the test prep booklet to go for your test because it has the answers in it. But you can use the test supplement, which has the charts of different pages and vectors and stuff. And, okay, we're back. Had a phone call that came in, so had to answer it. But yeah, a supplement you can use for the test that has half of pages of what's in the aeronautical chart. Basically, it's pretty much your pilotage and dead reckoning, which I'll explain in a future video. And again, vectors. Well, that vectors and stuff, that's instrument stuff for IFR, which that also too will be in the in a future video. But yeah, it has all the basic basic standard procedures in it for your private pilot. So yeah, it's a testing supplement, and that you also can use your scale chart. What is it called? E6B flight computer. See, I didn't even have to use it on the second try. Only I think the first try. But you need those materials that you can use. Oh, and of course a calculator. If it's a CH3 calculator or a standard calculator, you can use. I don't have a CH3. I have a regular calculator, but you can use that also to get your answer. That's only for mainly your weight and balance problems, and along with pilotage, and I think dead reckoning. Not the calculator, but the E6B flight computer, which is basically a ruler in a sense, and a compass, magnetic rose thing for VOR stations, navigating VOR stations, and all of that. So now getting to how I failed and then how I passed. Well, me failing, I'll start from the beginning. So the ground school course I was at the community college in Dallas, I failed miserably on the first practice exam. I think I got a 28% or something like that. But mind you, again, it's non-credit course. So as time progressed, up to like 5 test practice questions or 5 test practice quizzes, it increased to 58, 60, 70 or plus percent. And then as a final exam. So what else? And into the actual written exam, my instructor at the time from the community college was the one that signed me off, because I didn't realize I needed to sign off for these written exams as far as for check rides and stuff goes. But I needed a sign off. So he signed me off July of last year, because I still have currently his number. And even though I had moved, but back here in North Carolina, so I don't know. I just, after all that studying and preparing, I still failed. And then fast forward into going to Flight Jets to do training, to get a refresher in, and them saying, well, you'll have to use King School. So again, shout out to Ruskin Fly, because he also did a video on him using the King School online module assessments to prepare and stuff. And they too, King Schools gives you a automatic sign off to go take it, but it's only good for just one time only. So whether you pass or fail. Now the good news is, if you fail, well, that's the only good news. If you fail, well, as of bad news, but good news is if you fail, you get a refund back of that money you paid, which is I think $295, $279 I think it is, for the King Ground School. But it paid off along with the refresher for Flight Jets, because I said I passed. I didn't fail. I passed on the second attempt is what I'm saying. But I nailed it right at 70. So yeah, so that's about it and everything. I know I was probably a little bit all over the place, but I'll get back into it in a minute. Okay, y'all, we're back one final time. So yeah, this is the book right here, the main book you need. ASA. This is the 2020 version, so you have to get it upgradable as of this year, 2022, or as of the past year, 2021. But it basically, the current editions and even this edition, 2020, should pretty much have the same questions, in all the chapters, probably just worded a little differently. But you can see here, 5 free online, 5 free online practice tests, activation code included. Study and prepare. Pass your test and know what is essential to become a safe, competent pilot. As I said in the other video, go to refresher once again, but from the most trusted source in aviation training. Now, this is just one of many books I've heard from watching other YouTubers' channels. I don't know the names off the bat like that, just at random when they pop up my feed. But that's what happens. The more you watch a certain content, your interest, that's what will pop up constantly in your recommendations. But nonetheless, where they have books of Glim or something like that, and other test prep books of all kind. But this here was what I was referred to, or as far as what the community college had during that time. Probably still have ASA test briggles as of this year's edition or in as of last year's edition. But I'm just saying, or maybe they switched up to Glime or something. But this is, like I said, what I have. I didn't even know if I still needed this or not, but still comes in handy. But I haven't last used it since then, you know, from when I did my refresher. But real quick, so, you know, it just, everything's straightforward in here. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but there's your contents of all the chapters that are out of the Jefferson book. Basically, the Jefferson book, that just goes in the depth of everything. This here, this is just the Q&A for the actual written exam. That's what this test prep booklet is for. But the first few pages after contents is preface, just an introduction to the booklet, to the test prep, on how to use it, taking it, and so and so. Shout out to, is it J1 Aviation, something like that, who just recently started a channel, and he uses the same test prep booklet for his videos of Q&A to help you pass your written exam. So he's going over these, I guess chapters by random, and just reading off the question and giving you the answer. Like I said, the answers are already here, but they're down at the bottom of the book for each question number. And then it gives you an explanation of it, of the answer, and it gives you why such answers are incorrect along with it. And that's it. That's it on as far as that for the test prep booklet. Again, it has all your chapters of what you'll learn throughout your private pilot course. So far, like I said, what I've covered, NOTAMs and stuff, that's in a further chapter on here. I don't even think that's listed in these chapters. Well, I spoke on as far as briefly about airport procedures and operations right here, which is chapter 5 of lighting, when I was at Johnson Regional for the, like I said, the grand opening and the blue line. But it's got that, you got your weather services, aircraft performance, again for weight and balances and route flight, pilotage, directing and navigation, basic aerodynamics, regular, all that, flight instruments and stuff. Flight instruments, you also get more in depth in your instrument training as well. So close this back up. Then this here is your plotter, navigation plotter or navigational plotter. Also, like I said, it's like a ruler basically that comes in handy. This is the compass rose for half of a 360-degree angle. But you can, like I said, you can use this for the test. This backside is for World Aeronautical Chart, but you're going to use in sectional. So it's got to be on this side, and that's according to King Schools, what John Martin King was saying. So you can take this. So I'm setting aside what you can't take. You can't take that. You can take this. This is the E6B flight computer, as I was talking about earlier. Get it on the screen. It looks like this. You can take that. I'll just try to go through this quickly. This is a Jefferson manual how to use it, but I don't think you can take that with you. No, you can't, because that's the manual really well. I'm saying that you can't, but I'm saying it's just a helpful tip. But this is when you're doing lessons. I got this around November. This is knee board. This is not for your written. This is just for when you're in flight training, doing flight lessons. FAR AIM book, you will not need or can't, as far as I know, can't take this on the test, but this is just has airman notification, so and so standards, which you need to know. Again, that's the 2020 edition. This chart, the aeronautical chart, well, sectional, but this is for Dallas Fort Worth. Again, when I was going to the community college out there, that's what they use out there, a DFW chart. not for out of North Carolina authority or what have you. Now these are the supplements right here. This is this one is a 2016 and this one is a 2018. I never seen as far as the 2019, 2020 or current present update, but you can just get these as PDF files. You don't have to actually necessarily buy these, but I'm saying you can use these for your tests. This is what I was saying. It has different figures and stuff from what's outside of aeronautical charts and the actual Jefferson book, which is right over there. And yeah, see, it's got your altimeter, not altimeter, folks. It's altimeter, but yeah, everything you need to know out of a supplement. You can take those to your written exam. And then, yeah, last but not least, well, for this, yeah, you can't use this for the test. Like I said, that's in-depth private pilot Jefferson guided flight discovery. And then I'll also add this in here real quick. This Avanco here, this is renter's insurance. So once you pass the exam, yes, he says renters and borrowers insurance. This is what you're going to need, which I'll explain again. Well, I should have, I think, explained if I hadn't already. But when you start flying, I mentioned I did a video on me going to get my medical. You need that, but you need this too right here to get into flying. But you can have this on you at all times, even if you're on your own plane. Have your own, well, that would be owner's insurance compared to renters and borrowers insurance. But yeah, this is just a brochure thing of it. My actual information is in my closet where I got all this, the rest of this stuff out, but I didn't need to bring it up because, you know, it's got my personal information on it. But I'm just saying, that's one renter insurance that I was told about, and maybe the only one. There might be other aviation insurance companies, but that one sticks out as of right now. And again, that's pretty much it. So there you have it on this maybe 15 plus minute video on a debrief on how I failed the first try and how I passed on my second try of the private pilot written exam. PAR for short, or PPL for short, as of to get my license, which I haven't yet, but I will. Maybe by the end of this year or going into next year. I have until November of next year to get it all done. If not, I have to start the whole course all over again. So that's it from my channel to your channel. So, and real quick for the books and everything, technically you can just, like I said, the supplements or the ASA test prep far, and you can just download them as PDF files. And not necessarily purchase them. That's what my previous instructor at Flight Jets had told me. This is just in the way of saving money, you know, in the long run on certain books, when you can just download the PDF files as far as page for page online and stuff. But I mean, that's what he told me. And then the Avanco, that's actually pronounced as Avanco. So what I was told. So. Gulfstream Entertainment, Michael Carter Studios and Production. Oh yeah, if you enjoyed my channel and video, check out these channels and videos.